Welcome to Legacy Sips and Tips podcast with your geeky host, Lindsay Wheeler, where we talk about everything from death, preparing for your future through estate planning, life, the occasional breakup, entrepreneurship, general nerdery, and of course travel, snowboard, and always wine. In this episode, we're going to talk about what happens when your darling babies now turn 18 and graduate from high school. Are they still your kids? Are they adults? Are you able to take care of things for them at that point? Question mark? We don't know. But here we're going to talk about what that really means and how that happens. So say you're a parent and you have done a really good job and now your kids are graduating from high school. They've turned 18. They're still your babies, I know. But technically in the eyes of the law, they are now adults. With that being said, even though you're still your kids, they're maybe still living in your house, or now they've moved down to the basement because, they like to play Call of Duty a little too much. What happens with that if something bad were to happen? Or you've basically probably taken care of everything for your kids up to that point. Maybe their finances, helping them with bank accounts. You've, of course, done all their medical appointments. You've taken to the doctor, to the dentist, the orthodontist, eye doctors, whatever it is. Now that they're 18, you don't have the right to take care of that stuff anymore for them. Surprise, spoiler alert, they are now technically adults. They can go join the military, they can go buy cars, they can contractually obligate themselves at that 30% loan on a, Dodge Charger, whatever it is. Yeah, that's a whole other episode. But other than that, you are not able as a parent to now advocate for them because now they're separate individual adults, as you wouldn't be able to do for me or your neighbor or your friends, because they're adults and they're their own individual people. Even though they're your kids, you don't have those rights anymore. So how do we handle that? How do we take care of that for them? And that is through the magical document called the Power of Attorney. This is not only for your 18-year-olds or your kids. This is for you if you're incapacitated or unable to take care of wishes for yourself or to advocate for you, whether that's financially or medically. This is for maybe aging parents who are needing that assistance at that point anymore because now they're, let's be real, are little teenagers as well. Oh, old people are so fun sometimes. I love them. Actually, they're awesome. So with that power of attorney document, you are able to, and actually you're not able to, your kids are giving you that authority to still continue to handle those things for them. And with powers of attorney, we have two types. We have a financial power of attorney, and that's for our financial decisions. So day-to-day things like maybe bank accounts, maybe loans or paying bills or mortgages or taxes or things like that they may need assistance with on those day-to-day things. You can give some additional powers on there of, do they need you to handle credit cards or mail or make gifts for them? But that's usually for more people advanced in their careers or their life. For you, that would be a different type of selection for your power of attorney versus the one for your 18-year-old. With that, then we also have our medical power of attorney, and this one's usually the most important one for your 18-year-olds. Say they go off to college, maybe there's an emergency, maybe there's an accident, maybe little Jimmy wants to pledge a frat and, the hazing went a little too far and now he's in the hospital because they waterboarded him. Whatever it could be. That is now giving you the ability to advocate for their medical wishes that they have told you that they want to have done. So that's very important because otherwise, you are their parents, and yes, you probably would be next of kin, but technically medical providers don't have to accept you for making those decisions. But with that power of attorney, your now adult has given you the authority and the ability to make those decisions for them, which probably they want to anyways. They're your parents, you're their parents. They want you to do those things for them because you guys have a wonderful, loving relationship. Conversely, if you are a child and have now finally graduated and you're 18, you're an adult and you want to get the F out of that house. Your parents sucked. They were awful people. Maybe they don't agree with your lifestyle. Maybe they don't like you. They weren't just good parents, which happens, unfortunately. Some people should not have had children. Let's be real. My mother. Just kidding. Mom, I love you. You can now tell them that they don't have any rights to you, that they're not able to advocate for you, that they're not able to make those decisions for you anymore because they're maybe contrary to your actual beliefs. So you can put whoever you want in there, your best friend, maybe your best friend's parents, maybe your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it is. You can put those people in, and now your parents will have no right to be able to advocate for you in any way. So it's a kind of 50-50 on how you want it to look and how you want it to go. But the main takeaway from this is that you have the power to now advocate for yourself, or if you're a parent, that you're still able to advocate for your children as you always have, taking care of them. So very important documents. With that, we also like to include that burial or cremation instructions, which we like to call our declaration of remains. That gives whoever you put on there, usually the parents, the ability to order your disposition. And I know it's an awful thing to think about, that we don't ever want to think about this, that something would happen to our kids. And unfortunately, bad things happen, and it's an awful reality of life. And so having that discussion with your kids, that now that they're adults, they need to make adults decisions, and that if, God forbid, something were to happen to them, they were in an accident, whatever it is, that they want to give you or whoever it is the authority to fulfill their wishes. Awful things to think about, but here we are in life, and that's the reality of life. It sucks. So little bit of things for you guys to think about. It's a very nice gift to give for your graduating seniors, that, hey, we've signed up maybe for our FAFSA, we've done our student loans, we've got enrolled in colleges, all the fun, exciting things that we want to do. Maybe they're going to a trade school, maybe they're starting a business, maybe they're entering the workforce, really cool, exciting, fun things. This is just kind of the things that we need to do now as adults, and that kind of is a leeway into adulthood for your children to now have to make these kind of powerful decisions for themselves. And kind of, it's really cool in a way, because it does give them that power and that authority to advocate for themselves for the first time. So yeah, when you turn 18, you think you're an adult, you're in it to win it, you're doing good, you're out on your own, you can make all those decisions. Let me tell you what, you don't at all. When I hit 30, I thought I was an adult. Like, I bought a house, I thought I was like in a career, I thought I was gonna, make it. No, the world is rough. The world sucks. Stay in your home for as long as possible with your parents. Just kidding. Being an adult is rough out there. And so if you can get these documents in place to help mitigate some decision making, or to have your parents not have to do these things for you, it's helpful. Being an adult is a lot. It's a lot. Oftentimes I look around the room and I'm like, I need an adult. And the shocking surprise is, ooh, I'm the adult. That's not cool. I need a more adulty adult to make these decisions, please. So having my documents in place is very helpful, because if, in the event that I'm not able to make those decisions for myself, somebody can step in and do that for me, which is great. I would like somebody to step in for me to make all my daily decisions. Can somebody just come to my house and they'll tell me exactly what to eat, exactly what to wear? Here are my tasks for the day. Here's what needs to be taken care of. I would really like that. I need that guidance, please. That's very helpful. Being an adult is also cool. You can, you want to have birthday cake for dinner? You can 100% do that. The downfall is there's nobody to tell you that you can't have birthday cake for dinner, which you probably shouldn't. So being an adult is great. You can make those decisions, but also rough on the same token. So tell me about your struggles as being an adult. I'd like to hear them. Makes me feel better about my struggles as an adult. So this takes me on a little bit of a side quest of what was it like for me to be an adult, or when I became an adult at 18. That's not real. I was an adult at 8. I'm an only child. Shocking, I know. Like, seriously, don't touch my stuff. And I don't know how to share. That's real. But, my parents were all working. They were doing the best they could. I was kind of independent on my own since a very young age. And so I kind of raised myself. I'm cooking for myself at 8 because I didn't want what my parents cooked, or they just weren't available to do that. I took care of myself. I, of course, had my next door neighbor, my little 92-year-old Barbara, who took care of me, which was great. I had my friend Lori, who was on here. Her parents really took care of me in a lot of ways, which was great. But, for the most part, like, I took myself to school. I got rides from my friends who were older. I made sure my homework was done. I was a little bit more motivated that way. I just played a lot of sports. I think sports were super integral in, raising good children, in that sense, that you have the sense of, teamwork and community, and coaches are amazing, really helping out and raising. So that was really helpful in my life to make sure that I was taken care of, because oftentimes people in my situations don't turn out so well. I unfortunately went to law school. Yeah. Sometimes I question that decision-making of myself. Other than that, I don't cook well because I hate it, because I used to have to do it when I was younger. I find my friends are really my family and community, which is really great. And I had people that stepped in and helped out And, my parents did the best they could. My dad really did the best he could and stepped up and really did a lot of things for me and was really supportive and really there for me when he could, if he wasn't working or doing what he was doing. So I appreciate that, and always was encouraging with sports and activities and entrepreneurship, and really kind of, cheerleaded for that. So that was great. But yeah, adulthood sucks big time. Credit cards suck. Buying a house can suck. Maintenance on a house sucks. Driving cars suck. Paying bills. God, bills never end. They never end. But also I can do what I want. I can, go on a trip when I want to. I can drink all the wine I want to, in reason. Let's not be alcoholics, everyone. I can, have birthday cake for dinner if I want to. Probably not the best decision, but it's delightful sometimes. You can make those decisions for yourself that when you're a kid, you are trying to be, coached and taught to be good adults. And sometimes that's just not for you and your personality. So now as an adult, you can do what you want. But also let's make sure that we have documents in place to make sure that if something bad happens to you and you need that advocation for take care of your medical desires or your financial desires while you're maybe in an accident in a hospital, what have you, that the people that you want can step in for you, because now you are technically an adult. So yeah. Today's wine that we are drinking is this Weingut Rotterfaden Pinot Noir 2018. It's a Trocken, so it's dry. This is a fantastic wine out of Germany. Pinot is not usually known for being out of Germany per se. Usually they have the Rieslings and the whites, but this Pinot was phenomenal. I was very happy with it. Not something you would think out of Germany, but this was a really good, solid Pinot. Light, fruity, aromatic, the usual things you think about a Pinot, but German Pinot. So good. So if they would also like to sponsor me, I will take their sponsorship. Anywho, that's the wine for the week. So as a young adult, there are some things that I wish somebody would have told me instead of me being completely feral and winging it on my own, and still am, would be, for one, the biggest one is set up an investment account, do a target index fund, whatever it is, and just put money away, whether it's $25 a week, $25 a month, whatever it is. If you start at 18, by the time you get to 65, it'll be a significant amount of money. And I did not do that, and I wish I really did. So now I am, as an older adult, playing catch up with that. Whereas if you, as a younger adult, just start putting that money away, that's super helpful, and you'll be in a much, much better financial situation down the road. I wish somebody would have given me the book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich. That's by Ramit, Sethi. Not sponsored by him or anything, not affiliated at all, but that is a fantastic book. It's a finance book that basically takes you from step 1 all the way up to step 100. And I think every 18-year-old graduating senior should have that book. It'll set you up. You'll be in a great financial position down the road, and will really set yourself up with that. Also, I wish I did have my powers of attorney and my estate plan in place as a younger adult when I, was in a career, started working, graduated from college. I wish I had those documents in place, because as you guys maybe have heard, I had a really bad accident where I almost died snowboarding, and literally laying in the ICU going, oops, I have nothing in place for anybody to handle anything for me right now. Obviously, I'm in the ICU, I'm in the hospital, I'm not able to go pay the mortgage, I'm not able to take care of my credit card bills. If it's tax time, I'm not handling my taxes at that point. I'm not handling my house at all at that point, or any of my responsibilities at all. We're not set up, did not have the authority for anybody to do that for me. My dad was luckily in town, and even though he's my dad, he's not able to take care of those things for me because I'm technically an adult. A dumb adult, but an adult nonetheless. So having that paperwork in place is super important, which is hilarious because I do that paperwork for a living for other people. That's always how that works. We don't do our stuff for ourselves. So other than that, those are the big things. Also, be careful with those credit cards. America is geared on credit and credit cards. In Europe, they don't really have those even. They don't have credit cards. You can't afford it. So be checking those interest rates, be checking those APRs when they come out. They might get you an introductory order, offer of 0% or 5%, but surprise, if you don't pay that off within that time frame that goes away, they will accelerate that entire amount for that percentage rate, which is usually like 20%, 26%, 28%, 30%, which is unreal. So double check the terms of that and making sure that there's also no yearly fees or anything like that. So big things that I would consider there. Wine's so good. Wait till you're 21, kids. Also, as a young adult, I think a really important thing is we don't think about it as young adults, but take care of your health. Try to eat well, try to exercise every day, get in that habit, because once you start get older, you get out of that habit, you're trying to play catch up with your health or your body. It's rough. God, it's rough. It's so rough, especially if you're an athlete when you're younger. And then as you hit, your middle age, God help your soul. It's really, really awful, especially as a woman. Yay, perimenopause. So yeah, take care of your health. Of course, everybody, take the right vitamins, right supplements, get your tests going. If you're a young male, making sure that those tests are done for you, your testosterone levels, all of that, making sure that you're on top of that and going up to your yearly checkups. I know maybe your parents had you go to your doctor appointments. As an adult, that kind of falls off, but it's super important to still have that primary practitioner that you go to and you do your yearly exams, you do your yearly tests, your labs, what have you, and make sure that you're in the best optimal health that you can be going forward, because adult life is stressful and rough, and if you're not feeling well and your body's not being taken care of, it makes it just that much more hard. So yeah, I definitely feel bad for the young adults coming into the world. Like, sorry for the dumpster fire. Thanks, boomers. We're all dealing with the dumpster fire. I'm Gen X, so we're just nihilists and we don't care about anything. We're always been defeatist in that way. But yeah, good luck. This is why Lindsay also drinks. Yay, dumpster fire of life and society. It's a 50-50 chance that you might not have to pay any of your bills because we're going to be living in a post-apocalyptic, hellscape. Yeah, you might want to try for that. Also, you could hedge your bitches and, make sure your stuff's taken care of as best as it can. But, trying to keep yourself in the best mental, emotional, physical health that you can, and then that financial health. So when maybe things do turn around, you might be able to qualify for a home. You might be able to buy something. You're in that good position, better than your counterparts just trying to survive, which I know we're all just trying to survive. So the best you can, like I said, if you're 18, $25 a week, $25 a month, whatever it is, the minimum you can, put something away for yourself, because we're going to need a future here soon enough. Otherwise, we're going to be in the oasis like in Ready Player One, and then it's not going to matter anyways because we're all going to be checked out into the virtual reality of world. So either or, yeah, I'm super optimistic about everything. But I think there are also good opportunities out there, especially in recession times, financial crisis times in society. That's when millionaires are made. So there's a lot of opportunity for you to absolutely hustle, niche yourself out, get a good, read on the landscape and kind of go from there, because, hard work always pays off in that end, as much as we don't want it to. There's no quick rich anything or no quick anything. It's going to take the hard work, time, and dedication. And if you, at an 18-year-old, keep doing that, keep that motivation, keep that consistency, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of your competition when you become older. Here's another thing as an adult, when you're thinking about being an adult and going on to your world, you've been in school for the last 12 years, that's been hammered into you that you need an education, that we need to be going to college. And obviously I have 3 degrees. I have my undergrad, I have an MBA, I have a law degree, I have a lot of student debt. Yeah. Not so much actually, I've been doing good with that. But is it important now to go get a degree? Is it important to go to these colleges? Is it important to pay $100,000 for a bachelor's degree from the University of Arizona if you're out of state, like my friend's daughter was looking at? That is unreal to me. Unreal. Some of these degrees are necessary for licensing. If you want to be a psychiatrist, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you need to have that requirement of that education there. Some of those may be going away, frankly, and that would be great. Maybe not medical doctors, because we need medical school, for that. But some of these other professions, back in the day, to be a lawyer, you didn't have to go to law school. There really wasn't a law school. You would actually shadow an attorney who was already a solicitor or an attorney in your area, and after a certain amount of time, they basically would sponsor you to then become an attorney because you have worked so much in that field. And I think, frankly, in-field work is way more valuable than school work. I had a good law school. They taught us to be, good lawyers, if you will, but they did not teach us to pass the bar. That's a problem. A lot of these are just test generations. They're just scores so they can get their funding or whatever it is and get their money and get their revenue. And I don't really think that that is what education should be for. And honestly, I think education is so readily available now at our fingertips. We have the internet, we have all of these free programs, we have paid programs, we have all of these things that you can get. You can go to the library and get all the same books that Yale University for their classes teach. They have free classes from Yale, you know. How cool is that? Having that education accessible to the masses is super great and super important, and I love that that is now a thing. Whether I think having a formal degree is important these days, not so much. Is it still important in some industries? Sure. I think some of these, you know, employers are looking at that, but I think they're definitely going away from that. Do older people still look at that as, oh, you have a degree, that's the bare minimum? Yes. A college degree now is basically a high school degree. Everyone got one. But I think a lot of these employers are going more for experience now than the education and the expense of that education. So it depends on what you want to do, frankly, with yourself. You know, sometimes it is necessary for you to go and rack up those loans and those debts and get that piece of paper that says that you have started and completed something. Or there's also times where, you know, we have so many resources available for free that you have the ability to get that education elsewhere without having to pay that kind of exorbitant amount of money. So congratulations on becoming an adult and graduating high school, because I know that's the bare minimum we all have to do in life. With that, because you are an adult, let's get your estate plan in place, or at the very minimum, get those powers of attorney in place so your parents or whoever you want to can advocate for your financial and medical wishes if there's ever an emergency or you become ill or hurt. So if you found value in this, let me know. We also have those forms available for download on our website at yourestateplan.online or highsierralegal.com. And they're very affordable. They're not going to break the bank. You're not having to go to an attorney to do these. They're pretty standard, frankly. They're just plug and chug. So you'll have those available. Just get them signed, notarized, and now your people can advocate for you if your wishes. Thank you for listening to this podcast. If you found value, please like, subscribe, and share. And be sure to follow me on all the socials at Sips and Tips with Lindsay. And of course, you can always go to my website, sipsandtipswithlindsay.com, to find more information about estate planning, business, snowboard, travel, and of course, wine.